And we are back for another mini episode where I am giving Rod the update on the X-Men 97 prequel comic. This is issue number 3.
Can't believe it's not done yet because the show's done. As of recording, like the 10th, episode, the season finale of X-Men 97 is already aired.
Well, in the way for like 2 weeks that it was going, like it was like week on, week off, week on. I was like, oh, if they go at this cadence, then it could actually be done first. But this issue actually gives a reason why I think they decided not to do it. Like we said, last issue ended with Wolverine, Storm, and a returning Morph fighting the Marauders. Morph pops up next to Trish Tilby and like duplicates her, and it makes Trish very scared and she runs off.
Ironic, knowing what we know now.
Yeah, but then this is the reason why I think they didn't end up doing it is on the next pages, Morph transforms into the Hulk, and they do their own version of a fastball special where it's Morph jumping off of Wolverine, and they say, well, we don't have a classic move, so this one is going to be called the Mean Green Slowball Special instead. So
we have the fastball special, the belly up, and the slowball special, the Mean Green Slowball special.
Right, and we forgot to ask Isaac what the special is for him and Wolverine and Beast. We messed that one up.
Okay. I wonder if he'd ask.
I mean, next time we see him, we'll definitely ask him. So the fight continues to break out there. Wolverine gets shot in the back by Carl Denty, who's the agent from the UN who ends up becoming X-Cutioner. He shows up on the scene, jumps over to the fight in Central Park that was happening, where Rogue has absorbed all of Sienna Blaze's power. Sienna is able to teleport away before she gets captured, and Rogue is like overloading from the Earth's magnetic field, essentially, and then is basically like, I'm going to hug Remy, and through the power of love, without really touching, even though they're close to being nose to nose, are able to like just make the power go away.
They're in each other's orbit.
yeah, that's really what it is. At the mansion, we have Hazard, who's shooting stuff. Beast is able to get the defenses on. That makes him go away because apparently this guy is not scared of 3 superpowered mutants, but he's scared of like guns. And then he blasts open the fence, which Jean/Maddie telekinetically puts it back together, and that makes him run away.
Sure.
Yeah, there's lots of these moments in there. Scott is like hyper protective dad, and he's like, you can't do that again in your condition. That's how Beast finds out that she's pregnant. Going back to the city fight, you see more interaction with Wolverine and Carl, and that leads to a flashback, which is the members of Team X, which are Sabretooth, Maverick, and Wolverine, busting up some deal. During the course of that, a grenade gets kicked. It explodes. Shards from the shrapnel of the DNA,
there you go.
Shards from the shrapnel of the grenade are what actually cuts Carl's face open. And that's the reveal. Because remember how I said it wasn't clean, like it was like Wolverine claws, like not perfectly like lined up? So I guess I was right about that part.
But it still kind of had to do with Wolverine, or
because he was there.
Yeah. And he's in his like cool like black and gold outfit before the Weapon X stuff. I remember that action figure.
It triggers to Wolverine because he recognizes the smell of Denty from that interaction.
I am so grateful I don't have that like animal level smell, because that sounds like that would just
be awful. Constantly.
So overwhelming.
No, the Marauders go away. It looks like Wolverine and Sabretooth, where Sabretooth is like flipping him off as he's going, even though that's not actually what's happening.
They're like waving goodbye to each other. Sabretooth is in his classic like animated uniform. I don't know.
He's big, jacked up, steroid Sabretooth. Val Cooper arrives, basically said that Denty was supposed to be off the streets and is going to court-martial him, essentially. And then he's walking away and he's being like, blah, 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 friends of humanity. They get back to the mansion. You get the full reveal to the entire team that Jean is pregnant. Everybody's happy about it. And then a couple days later, they're arriving for a bridal shower at Jean's family home, and everybody is in like, well, Morph is in a nice suit, Beast is in a tuxedo, Scott and Jean are like dressed like they're going for job interviews, and then the issue ends with Sinister being like, oh, the X-Men are going to get blamed for destroying an entire town, and that's it.
I guess that's framed him.
Yeah, and then it's to be concluded. I looked at this, I picked it up today. The quality of writing, all due respect to this team, is not close to the quality of writing of the TV show. Like I don't know if they ever got the memo of what the change in tone was going to be when they were doing this, but it definitely feels like it is written as a Saturday morning cartoon rather than what X-Men 97 was written as, unfortunately.
That would blow if like they, were just told like, well, don't worry about it because you're just doing the prequel. Here's the, where you need to end. And then they're like, oh, we know that show. And they go back to...
I honestly think it might have been that because and it's not that it's bad, but it's just not the same thing. And that part is a little disappointing.
Or I guess I wonder even if it would have, even though it might have spoiled certain plot points before the show started, if tonally it would fit better, a little closer to that first episode. Because, like we've come this far into the show and we know now how dark it got. But that first episode was genuinely really fun. And
this is the part that you're not missing it because you haven't read it. But like it's still written as a kid's comic. Like this could be an all ages comic. Like just the way they're phrasing stuff and everything like that. It just doesn't feel like it's written for even an adult reader, let alone the adult fan who's watching X-Men 97.
Yeah. I wonder if someone either made a decision or got that note to make this like one of the merch things, quote unquote,
Yeah. I don't know, but it is what it is. It still hasn't filled out anything else for us aside from when Moore formally joined the team back after their final appearance in Graduation Day and like being a part of the team. But for the most part, this is all happening within a couple days of it. So it doesn't feel like a huge story at this point.
No, the only thing that this could be like really cool if it does is like reveal that like this was when Madeline and Jean swapped or something,
Yeah, but at this point, it would have to be a flashback in the next issue because it's pregnant Maddie at this point. So it's like all the big moments are already gone. Like I said, I think the only reason it didn't come out already is I don't think they wanted to spoil the Hulk reveal from episode 9.
So it's been a really erratic like pacing. It's not been on a schedule. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, because it was literally 1 week, skip a week, and was out in week 3, and then it was like a full month before the next issue came out. So I don't know. It is what it is.
I don't know how comic distribution pipeline works.
Standard is if you have a super popular book, you maybe do every other week. Like that tends to happen with like Amazing Spider-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a standard release window is once a month, unless you're doing like a special event. Like when they did What If, it was called What If Dark, and it was 5 issues because it was a month with 5 Wednesdays in it, so every single Wednesday had a new What If in it. So
speaking of What If, did you see that there's a trailer for like a Apple Pro Vision only What If show?
The VR thing? Yeah.
What a wild decision to make.
Who can we rob an Apple Vision from? Because I'm not buying one just for that fucking game.
But is it more like a game? I guess is it interactive?
I thought it was because they were like showing like a spot where there was like making spellcasting motion, so I thought it was a little bit of a VR game.
That makes a little bit more sense, and I guess if you're going to do it with anything, it's What If, so you're not really missing anything because 99% of people are going to miss that. Like the only person that is like any of the tech reviewers that you watch on YouTube are probably the only people that are going to play that.
And maybe the one dude who did the I'm going to every Margaritaville in the United States, he did a whole video about having an Apple Pro. So
Eddie Burback.
Yeah.
I've run into Eddie. I don't know if he'd remember me, but we have several mutuals.
Any final questions before we inevitably get the final issue of this thing?
No, because it seems like there's not like any, I don't want to say not stakes.
No, I think that's fair.
It's just kind of like, I mean, it's fun though. I remember the few comics I did read back in the day, like one of them was like one where there was a bunch of like chibi Hulks, and it was fun, but it was more like, it was akin to like me, looking at like a magic guy or something. It was just like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm occupied. I don't remember any stories. So this kind of seems a little bit more than that, but close.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back on Monday with our final episode tied to season 1 of X-Men 97, where we go through Marvel Studios Assembled. Make sure to follow us on all social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod. Also, if you found us somewhere else, make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast service. Bye.